Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Umirabad from Pengu's English School and Eureka School System. This video is for Primary 6, LS1 and LS2. As I previously told you all that we are going to be studying punctuations. So the students came today and they had read about what punctuations are in detail as it's already given in the book. So I will be explaining them to you all as well. So first of all, punctuations. Punctuations are this heading is in accuracy of expression, that we have to use correct grammar and punctuation on page number 12 of your English language book. So basically, to produce a good piece of work in composition, it is important that your writing is secure in the use of the main punctuation marks. You always have to remember that the point of punctuations to help the reader grasp the meaning of what you're writing. You cannot communicate clearly without using punctuations correctly. Alright, so basically, now you all have to focus on the way I am reading, because punctuations carry a vital role in reading and writing, and by using these punctuations correctly and by reading them, pronouncing them the way they should be, that holds a significant role in reading and in writing. So basically, since you all are learning how to write, so while writing your punctuations should be accurate. So basically, now you all have to listen to me the way I am reading, so that I want you all to develop the same reading skills even better. Alright? Inshallah. So now listen to me, and then you may judge where the full stop is, where the comma is. You all have to focus on the pauses which I take and how I take, whether they are determining that there's a full stop, the sentence has completed or not, or whether there's a comma or whatsoever. Now you all have to listen to me. To produce a good piece of work in composition, it is important that your writing is secure in the use of the main punctuation marks. Remember, the point of punctuation is to help the reader grasp the meaning of what you're writing. You cannot communicate clearly without using punctuations accurately. I hope you must have gone with the rhythm. You all have to start reading in the same manner. Whenever there is a full stop, you have to take a little long pause, like for 2 to 3 seconds. When there is a comma, so you have to take a short pause, like for 1 or 2 seconds. Now coming to the punctuations. These punctuations, the first punctuation is full stop, that dot, and these are always used to indicate a long pause and to mark the end of the sentence. Whenever there is a full stop in the sentence, that means that the sentence has ended. Comma is used to indicate a short pause, as I have already told you, and it should never be used to mark the end of sentence. Whenever there is a comma, that means that the sentence has not ended and it's still continuing. Semicolons are used to indicate a longer pause than a comma, and is also used to link two main clauses with a main subject. As I have already told you that a main clause is the main sentence which we're talking about. When we join two main clauses of the same subject, so then a semicolon is appeared. Now coming to the question mark. Question mark is used instead of a full stop at the end of a direct question. Whenever there is a sentence which is asking a question. I hope you all remember all the 5 W's and 1 H. What, where, why, who, when. These are the 5 W's, and 1 H is how. So whenever these words appear in the sentence, so that means this is a question. And at the end of the sentence, you have to place a question mark. Alright. Now coming to the exclamation mark. The exclamation mark is used instead of a full stop at the end of sentence after making an exclamation. It is also used after an interjection. All right, you all know what interjections are. Whenever we share some feelings, any emotions of excitement, happiness, sorrow, grief, excitement, so whenever we use these words, exclamation marks are always mentioned after interjections, and exclamation marks are always those marks which indicate any exclamation, any expression which we give. And since when we're writing, the readers have to read it, and by reading they have to judge what the emotions and what the feelings are. So these punctuations help us a lot in generating the feelings or the emotions or the rhythm of the reader. All right. Now apostrophe. And the apostrophe is used either to show possession or to indicate the omission of a letter or letters. So basically, whenever we join two words into one, so we always apply an apostrophe at the end of either a letter or two letters. So for example, if I am saying, he has got my book. Alright, so now just to shorten the word he has, the words he has, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to write H-E, he, apostrophe S, he is got my book. So these apostrophes are basically used to shorten the words, to join two words into one. Basically the pronoun and the helping verb, whenever we join a pronoun with a helping verb, so apostrophe marks are used. Alright, now coming to speech marks. Speech marks are used to indicate direct speech. Like for example, if I am writing a quote, any dialogue of something, any saying of something, when I am writing the exact words as directed, so those will be indicated in speech marks. That dialogue, that quote, that saying will be written in speech marks. Now coming to colon. The colon is used to introduce a statement or quotation to act as a pause or balancing point between two balanced statements. When punctuating a sentence, never put in a stop at any place unless a pause is required in the reading. A guide to the use of more complicated punctuation marks follows. This sentence can also indicate a colon whenever we write any list and we're giving any instructions. So mostly we write that for example, if I'm defining something, metaphors, so I'm going to write the heading metaphors, and then I'm going to place a colon to explain you what it is. Colons help in explaining about that particular thing which we have already written, a brief detail about it. Alright, so colons are used to introduce a statement or quotation. Alright, so this was done, and then coming to dashes and hyphens. Dash has a variety of uses. The main use is to indicate an interruption to the planned flow of a sentence. For example, he showed me his new house. Dash, very nice it was too. Dash, that he had purchased from a famous celebrity. Alright, they're giving main details to us, and within each detail we are applying some dashes. Alright. Now if we talk about hyphens, so hyphens are those short dashes which are used between two different words. Two different words carrying two different meanings and different spellings. Those words, when they are combined to make one word, they generate a new word. For example, barefoot. The word bare is different, B-A-R-E, that has a different meaning. Foot has a different meaning. But if we combine these two words, it makes barefoot. And in between this word, we place a hyphen. So that indicates that this is a new word, barefoot. And what is the meaning? Without any footwear. For example, he is walking barefoot. So that means he is walking without any footwear. So whenever we join two different words with two different meanings, we join them to make a new word. So those in between hyphens are used. Alright? So this is what we studied today. And now your homework is that in your English language notebook you have to write a paragraph in which you have to use all these punctuation marks accurately. That means that you have to write a paragraph in which there are full stops, commas, colons, semicolons, hyphens, dashes, question marks. You have to generate a story or any essay, you have to write it down in which all these punctuation marks are being used. Alright, so this was for today. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.